name is Lynn. Welcome back to Gardening from Square One. And if you're new here, welcome. Today I'll be sharing my list of the top 5 must-have flowering perennials for our Texas gardens. Stay tuned. For me, like many of you, winter is the time that I start shopping for plants that I want to add to my spring garden. So with that in mind, I have made a list of the top 5 perennials for Texas gardens. All of the plants on this list are low maintenance, beautiful plants that I currently grow or have grown. So they are tried and true. So without further ado, so up first is Salvia. This plant comes in a stunning array of colors, including blues, purples, soft pink, deep vibrant pinks, red, and white. So it doesn't matter what your color scheme is, there is a salvia that will complement your garden aesthetic. Now, the plant that I recommend is the Mystic Spire Salvia. This plant also happens to be a Texas superstar, so you know it's great for Texas gardens. I have purchased this plant at HEB as well as local garden centers. It will grow to become about 3 feet in height to about 3 to 4 feet in width. It is no muss, no fuss. Just cut it back at the end of summer and it will start growing and blooming again until you receive your first hard frost. The next plant or salvia that I recommend, it is a Texas native, and it is actually not a specific variety, but it is the Salvia greggii. So those salvia. These I find tend to be the most drought tolerant, which makes it perfect for xeriscape gardens. Many of them will grow to become about 3 feet in height and 3 feet in width. And again, it comes in the stunning array of colors. So blues, purples, soft pinks, all of the colors I mentioned. The great thing about salvia, whether you select Salvia greggii or the Mystic Spire salvia or any salvia for that matter, they are all deer and rabbit resistant. Number 2 is Nepeta, also known as Catmint. Many of the tags will say it's rated zones 3 through 8, which means most people down in Texas can grow it. However, those of you in zone 9, you can grow this plant too because I successfully grew it in zone 9. Now, Nepeta is a drought-tolerant, deer and rabbit-resistant, sun-loving perennial that will add beauty to your mixed perennial beds, cottage gardens, xeriscape beds, even formal gardens. The flowers will come in cool shades of either blue, purple, or white, and it ranges in height depending upon the variety from about 12 inches in height and width to plants that grow to become just under 4 feet in height and width. Nepeta is a no-fuss, beautiful plant that will bloom from spring until your heart frost. Number 3 on my list is Agastache. This plant belongs to the mint family. It will produce tall spikes of tubular flowers that come in shades of blue, purple, pink, white, fuchsia, orange that appear from late spring all the way to your hard frost. Now, what makes this plant special beyond the beautiful blooms on this little tidy plant is its ability to attract a variety of pollinators, especially hummingbirds and butterflies. Now, Agastache is hardy in USDA zones 4 to 10, meaning that those of you living in the northern regions of Texas all the way down to the border can grow this plant. Now, planting Agastache is pretty straightforward. Just choose a sunny spot in your garden. Plants are sun lovers, and once established, it's pretty drought tolerant. It's going to prefer well-draining soil, so if you have hard pan or heavy clay, amend it with organic matter and or expanded shell to help with that. After that, they thrive with minimal care. If you enjoy or find value from this kind of content, please click like, subscribe, and notifications. Moving on. Number 4 on my list is Brunnera, also known as false forget-me-not. Now, this charming, lower growing, spreading, leafy, flowering plant will grow to become about 18 inches in height by about 30 inches or so in width. Now, these deer and rabbit resistant plants produce gorgeous baby blue flowers in the spring, and the evergreen leaves add low growing interest to the garden year-round. Here in Texas, you do not want to expose this plant to the hot afternoon sun as it thrives in part shade to shade conditions. Last but not least, number 5 is Rudbeckia, also known as black-eyed Susan. Now this plant thrives in part sun to full sun, and it can handle the full hot Texas sun if that's where you want to plant it. Now it will need consistent watering while it's becoming established. This plant is hardy from zones 3 to 9, and it can reach about 3 feet in height to about 2 feet in width. It is disease resistant, drought tolerant, rabbit and deer resistant, including the soil quality. So if you're in El Paso dealing with desert conditions, if you're in the east, if you have clay like I do in central Texas, this plant will not mind. Now, Rudbeckia can be incorporated into a variety of garden designs. It works well with cottage gardens, wildflower gardens, or mixed perennial borders, and for those who just want to add bright pops of color to the landscape. If you found this video helpful, please give it a like, subscribe, click notifications so you can get more gardening tips and information. And please let me know in the comments what you plan to add to your garden this spring. Happy gardening, everyone. Thanks for watching. Bye.